And I guess it's one of those things that a word that everybody knows and everybody uses as if everyone else knows it. But in fact, everybody else's definition could be quite different. So I suppose we could divide the joys into maybe your small j joys are determined or dependent on your seat around the table, where your foot was nailed down, so to speak. And then maybe you would reserve your capital J joys for something in the religious transcendent, sort of a thing. And I suppose you have your positive joys, that is, that first spoonful of chocolate mousse or whatever your chocolate mousse is. And then you have, the relief, for example, of getting a splinter pulled out, sort of like a negative joy, the joy of not hitting yourself on the head with a hammer anymore. And what that sort of points out is that there's these things that happen with our perceptive faculties, and they usually show this in painting where you take one color and you put it in one setting and it shows up as a dark, and you take the same color and you put it in a different setting and it doesn't even look like the same color, and the eye and the brain will be tricked into thinking it's an entirely different color just because it's sitting in a different setting. So joy to somebody in a palace with golden toilet seats, and joy to somebody in a packed prison cell in some forgotten, godforsaken place, those might look really different. And so that, I suppose there's that. And we could say that some of that is in the hardware and some of that is in the interpretive function. And how much of it is like your eyes getting set to darkness, and then when you come out into the bright lights, your setting is sort of not adapted yet to the new environment. So, and then how much of it is interpretive? How much lives in our head about what to be joyful about and what not to be joyful about? Are we joyful of the things that have happened already, or are we joyful over futures that we foresee? Those two elements might be quite different based on how that joy's relationship to time, in other words.